Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of How You're Getting Fucked. I'm your host, Louis Rossman, and today we're going to be discussing the erosion of the Seventh Amendment of the United States Bill of Rights and the Constitution, which is the right to a jury trial in federal cases. If you have been wronged and somebody has broken the law, you have the right to say you've broken the law. I am going to sue you. I am going to let this process be adjudicated by our justice system. Unfortunately, that's not a right that you have anymore because many companies try to push this thing called forced arbitration into their products, and they believe that if they have something in their contract, that's going to supersede the law, and usually, well, it does. This is the United States. Unfortunately, that's how it works. This means that if a company does something wrong, like, I don't know, Disney decides that they are going to tell you when you go to one of their restaurants on one of their properties that they do not have this allergy in their food. They actually do have that allergy in their food. They give that to you. Your wife dies. You're not allowed to sue them because you clicked agree to a forced arbitration agreement in their streaming app 5 years earlier. If you think that this is dystopian, then you and I agree on something. And one of these very, very few things that no matter how you vote in the United States, everybody should be band together on the idea that the things in the Bill of Rights should just kind of stay in the Bill of Rights. They shouldn't be taken away from you. Now, many of these companies that use this thing called forced arbitration, what they do is they hire a company to deal with the dispute rather than you going through the process of having a judge, a jury, and everything else. And they're the ones paying the company that's doing the adjudicating of all this. They're the ones paying the dispute resolution company. Now, if there was a court and you wanted to sue me in that court and I paid all the employees of the court, who do you think they're going to side with most of the time? You understand why this is a bullshit system now, right? So this is something that many companies have been pushing because, again, we do not have consumer protection in the United States of America. We don't have consumer protection in the United States of America. Congress doesn't do shit. They take off, they still get paid. That works for you. So the way that this has been working is many companies will do this thing where they'll send out an email from a no-reply email address that says, if you continue using our services within the next 15 days, you will automatically be opted into our new terms of service that include forced arbitration. And if you want to opt out, well, you have to send us a certified mail letter to this particular address with a stamp the same color of my balls. It's very, very annoying. And or you'll have companies that do this. You'll have a notice that gets sent out in their application that has no disagree button. Remember when it used to be okay and cancel? I agree, I disagree. You don't have that anymore. These companies don't understand or respect the concept of consent. Agree. Agree. There is no disagree option. It's only agree. It's very annoying. Now, I admit I'm one of the idiots that actually managed to click this. I felt like such a fucking moron when this happened. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I very rarely, if ever, use Discord. I use Zulip because it's open source. It's like Slack. If Slack didn't suck, I love it. I use it for my nonprofit. I use it for my business. I use it for this new Clippies group that I've created for people who show up to these anti-Flock and anti-AI surveillance protests, which I think is really great. And the thing is, I clicked it. I saw this thing and I just wasn't in the mood for it. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I was tired. It's like a go away GDPR cookie pop-up, go away, whatever. And I just clicked it. And I felt as stupid afterwards as I imagine that you feel when you realize that you're one of the 5 people on planet Earth that actually wired money to the prince in Uganda thinking he's going to give you double back. You got me, you fucks. You got me. And let's take a look at what these terms include. Now, when you look at their website, dispute resolution, we've updated our dispute resolution process and our arbitration agreement. Imagine that. These updates reflect changes in the legal landscape and provide new information, the steps you should take in case you have a dispute, and the arbitrator is available to you depending on where you live. And I wonder why they had done something like that. I wonder why they would try and push this through as obnoxious a pop-up as they have over the past few weeks, because they've gotten much more obnoxious over the past few weeks. And when you take a look at the news, update on a security incident involving a third-party customer service. Discord recently discovered an incident where an unauthorized party compromised one of Discord's third-party customer service providers. This incident impacted a limited number of users who have communicated with our customer support, or trust and safety team. This unauthorized party did not gain access to Discord directly, blah, 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 blah. So essentially, it's a data breach. They had a data breach, and as a result of having a data breach, they did their disclosure. But when you look at the timing of when this occurred, and you look at when they pushed this thing out, this breach occurred on September 20th. They dropped the new forced arbitration about a week and a few days ago. They knew they had a large data breach, but they didn't mention that for like a week or two. And then, Now, Discord has been emailing users telling them, and I quote, "You can verify your age by these following steps. Take a photo of yourself that includes yourself holding the following items. A photo ID that contains your date of birth. You're holding a piece of paper with your username. Once you've taken the photo, please reply to this email with the photo attached." Do you feel comfortable sending that to them knowing that they're storing this information that the data gets breached on a regular basis? More importantly, if you did have a Discord that was anonymous and you don't want people to know who you are because you value your privacy and anonymity, do you feel comfortable knowing that if they get in trouble, you can't sue them because, well, fuck your 7th Amendment, you live in the United States of America, simply because they sent out this thing and you accidentally clicked agree on the pop-up. From a viewer, to make things worse, like in the Adobe case, you can't even terminate your account and/or cancel subscriptions to reject the new terms, because this is done through the Discord application. The same one completely unusable without accepting the terms in the first place. place. When you look for instructions on how to delete your account on Discord support website, it only shows how to do it by the application, which effectively locks users on their ecosystem. Messing around in their support pages, I found a form to do manual requests and request the deletion of my account, explaining the whole situation, how I will not accept this blackmail they're doing with my account, and explicitly stating that I cannot delete my account on my own because the application is locking me out, only to be gaslit by their own support bot on an automatic email, repeating the same steps of account deletion through the application that I literally cannot follow without agreeing to the new terms. Hope I'm very amusing now that Discord promoted me to a clown. Many of you may not care. You may say, who gives a shit about this? I'm not going to sue a chat provider anyway. But that's not the point. The point is that the way that it's being done is not in a way that is, in my opinion, honest. You would put a disagree button over here. You wouldn't have a system where if you want to remove your account, you have to use an app. In order to use the app, you have to agree to the new terms to take away your Seventh Amendment rights in this loop. How many companies have emailed you from a no-reply email saying that you have to give up your Seventh Amendment rights? We're just going to assume that you don't care about those if we don't receive physical mail from you in the next 15 days. I mean, you could make a button that you click on their website. Why are they not making a button on their website that you could use to opt out of these terms? Because they don't want you to. They want you to not have rights. If you don't have rights, it makes their life easier. And this is why things like consumerrights.wiki are necessary. This is why I'm working on making consumerrights.wiki the best repository of all this information as humanly possible, because nobody else is seemingly doing this work of going and looking through and categorizing every single company that's doing this type of shit. We have articles on all these different companies that go through all of this stuff in great detail, whether it's Discord doing this, whether it's LG selling your private data out of your television by default, or General Motors taking your data and selling it to insurance companies. I want to have a centralized repository for people to become informed on these practices and keep up with them in real time, because I can't cover the amount of emails that I get every day. I get like 200 or 300 emails a day with all this stuff now. And a lot of them I listen to, I read, but a lot of them I say, man, make a wiki article, because there's no way in hell I'm going to keep up with all this stuff on my own. I hope that you're with me when it comes to pushing back on this as often as humanly possible, whether it is trying to get legislation advanced that says you can't do this shit, you can't just take away the Seventh Amendment of the Bill of Rights by just sending out a fucking pop-up notice as an app, or whether you are taking a concerted effort to add to the wiki on a regular basis so that these articles can be improved, so that this thing can be taken more seriously and be more authoritative and be something where I can actually walk up to a legislator, and then when that lobbyist says that's a solution in search of a problem, I can say, actually, I have 4,000 articles on that. You want to say that again? I have a nice little binder with me. Binders full of articles, as Mitt Romney may say. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. Please help me make consumerrights.wiki into the best thing it can be. I believe that we should have rights, not just the companies. Maybe it's too late. Hopefully not. See you in the next one. Bye now.
We also have the duty not to infringe the IP rights in the process. It is in fact the manufacturers who have the relevant rights, not consumers.